Hey everyone, thanks for joining me on my channel, Learn to Play Games. My name is Lance, and today I'm going to be taking a look at a brand new game on Kickstarter called Frosthaven, and I'm sure most of you are familiar with this. This is the newest game from Fair Games. It is a 1 to 4 player game that takes roughly 1 to 2 hours to play, and is going to be a fully cooperative game where the players are working together to defeat the scenario they've chosen to go on. In this video, I'm going to be playing through the very first scenario that is included in Frosthaven, showing you how this scenario plays and showing you some of the new characters that are included in the game. I'm also going to have a link up in the top corner for another video if you just want to see the new features and an overview of the new game Frosthaven. If you're not familiar with the game, also check that out, as I'm going to give you a basic rundown, some basic concepts of the game, not a full rules definition, but basic concepts of the game, so you can kind of see if this is something that you're interested in as well. I'm also going to be looking at doing some other videos, so please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. I know everybody asks for it, but I really do appreciate it if you can do it, and it really does make a huge difference for my channel and pretty much any channel that's on YouTube. So please take that little bit of time and hit that button. It really does make a big difference. It helps to support me, and with that, I make you a promise. You hit that subscribe button, and you're showing your dedication to my channel, and in that same gesture, I will show my dedication to you to continue to produce good videos, both teaching and Kickstarter videos, showing you all the latest stuff for the games and teaching you how to play. So please do me the favor, hit that button. That way I can continue making these videos and producing this content, as it does take a lot of work and every little bit helps. So please hit that button for me, and as always, let's head to the table and I'll show you what this one's all about. So we're ready to dive into the very first scenario for Frosthaven, and I am super excited about this one. I am new to Gloomhaven. I actually got the core game a couple weeks ago to learn the rules to that so that I could learn how to play Frosthaven and take you guys through this. So I am really excited about this. This is a new experience for me, and I've had a really good time with this so far. So for those of you that are familiar with Gloomhaven, have played it for a long time, I do apologize if I get some rules wrong. I'll do my best not to make too many mistakes, but just kind of keep that in mind, as this is more about what is new and to show off what Frosthaven is versus me trying to make sure that every single rule is correct. Then there's a couple of other important things. So first off, all the materials you see here are prototype materials. Some of them I did pull from the Gloomhaven box, so some of these might look familiar. These are all going to look a lot better in the final production copy of Frosthaven, and it's going to be the same quality, if not even better than Gloomhaven. For those of you that have Gloomhaven, you know what I'm talking about. This game is massive and beautiful. From there, there's a couple other important things. Unfortunately, I only have 2 cameras, so I am trying out a new angle here with me in front of the camera. So let me know in the comments down below if this is something you guys like, or if there's other changes that you guys would like to see. Some of you will notice I do have a hat on. For those of you that don't watch my channel, that won't be anything of new. But for those of you that have watched my channel in the past, normally I don't wear a hat. It's with all of the things that are going on right now in the world. I needed a haircut, and so I tried it myself, and yeah, it looked like I got in a fight with a lawnmower and lost. So for the next couple of months, I'll probably have a hat on, just so that you guys aren't staring at my head versus what I'm actually trying to show. So just some of that kind of stuff. Other than that, like I said, with this one, there's some really cool new features. Obviously, there's 6 brand new core characters in Frosthaven, and I'm going to have a in-depth video for those, covering all the different little nuances with those to the best of my ability, of course. And with Frosthaven, it's taking place in a new environment. So for those of you that are familiar with Gloomhaven, you can think of this, if you're into role-playing games, that this is a new module. This is just adding new stuff to the system that you already know and love. So you don't have to worry about getting Frosthaven and having to learn a whole new system and new rules and that. This is basically just fine-tuning what Gloomhaven already had and just adding to that, and then really just kind of buffering everything out, making sure everything is as good as it possibly can be. So there are going to be 3 new enemy types that are introduced in this new Frosthaven, and I'm going to be taking us against one of these. And I apologize if I get any names wrong. I'm not real good with pronunciation of names and stuff like that, so if I get them wrong, I do apologize. But they are the Algox, And these guys are massive. They are huge, as you can see with these standees. They are just gigantic in comparison to even the models. They're just twice the size. So I kind of ran into some issues with filming of those. So I had to lay them face down, and their bases are going to be in the space that they're in. So that, like I said, I only have 2 cameras and I'm trying out this new angle. So let me know in those comments below what you guys think of that as well. And I'll do my best to cover all this. But these guys are really terrifying. Like I said, I have not played a lot of Gloomhaven, so I haven't run up against a lot of the enemies, but these guys are just nasty. They hit like a ton of bricks, and they are going to punish my team pretty bad. So I have 3 of the new characters here, the Blinkblade, the Banner Spear, and the Geminite, and each one of these offers new features that are included in the game. And the other big thing is the loot deck. So for those of you familiar with Gloomhaven, anytime you kill an enemy, it drops a token, or there's going to be tokens throughout the map as well that you can go and loot and pick up. Well, in this one, the loot deck is going to replace that. Every time you pick up loot, you're going to get to draw from that loot deck, and it's going to contain not only money, but also different resources and herbs and different types of building supplies in that you can take back to town and actually build your town up, which is really cool. It lets you construct buildings in this city, so you kind of move into this location and actually start improving it. And over time, that is going to give you all kinds of benefits. You'll get to, based on what buildings you build or upgrade, you're going to be able to have access to new items and new gear, being able to make potions and all kinds of really cool things. Obviously, there's only so much that they want to reveal, so there's only so much I know and can tell you about, but it's really exciting. It's really cool to see different things and how these board games are really evolving into full experiences. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. I'm sure you're sick of hearing me talk. The one last thing I do want to cover is, as I play through, for again, those of you that know Gloomhaven, there is a good amount of downtime where players are going to be going through their deck of cards, choosing 2 of those that they would like to play, and then playing them down. With that, I am going to do jump cuts, and with the editing magic of my ability, I will bounce from that selection right into the action. So there isn't going to be a lot of downtime in this video. So that will hopefully speed this up as well, because I do understand these are long scenarios, so hopefully it won't be too long. So that is it. Let's go ahead and jump in. I'm going to go ahead and read you the intro scenario background so you guys know what's going on with this, and we'll be back in a minute. With your head down, you march, one foot and then the other. You try to block out the pain, the throbbing in your toes, the numbness in your face, just to keep the rhythm, you think. 1, 2. But the wind isn't so easily ignored. It claws at you, whipping up ice and snow like tiny hooks, making every breath difficult. Your skin is thick. You've always prided yourself on that. But nothing is thick enough for this. You are walking through the north, through the frozen wastes, a place not meant for living things, where only the hard and the lost dare to go. Of course, that's probably why they hired you. It's been 10 days now, 10 days of plowing through snow drifts as high as your waists, and there's still no sign of the town. You're part of a reconnaissance team, the first group sent in to check on the Empire's most distant outpost, Frosthaven. It's a place forgotten by most of the world, a tiny settlement carved out of the frozen wilderness, which for 6 months out of the year is wholly cut off from the outside, isolated by towering, unbreachable drifts. But as the last week, just enough snow has melted off the Imperial Pass for the team to get through. So then, here you are. No one really knows what awaits you in Frosthaven. One struggles to imagine what sort of people could survive 6 months in a place like this. But whatever awaits you, you hope at least they've left a fire going. The sounds are what greet you first, the muddled ping of metal on metal, a voice howling. It's difficult to make anything out with the wind rushing past your ears, but you know the tune anywhere. There's a fight up ahead. But a fight means there's people, and if there's people, then the town must be close. You gain some hope from that and pick up speed. A moment later, you hear more, a scream, a crash of steel on stone, and a deep earthly growl. You're running now, your legs are wasted from the hike, your shoulders ache from your gear, but the sounds are close now, and up ahead you see the gauzy orange light blooming in the air. It takes one last push. You tear up the ground and take the last bend in the trail, and then you're there. You see it. Frosthaven, engulfed in flames. Everywhere there is fire, great petals of it, bursting through windows and crawling over roofs. People run out of the town's ruined gate, screaming, their faces bent in panic and their arms pumping hard. Something is chasing them. A moment later you see it, a massive creature with 2 legs and 2 hulking arms, covered entirely in thick white fur. 3 gnarled horns crowning its head. Algox the voice, another pilgrim behind you shouts, "Those bastards are worse than the damned Indocs. If you believe it, twice as dumb and twice as strong." Then, as if to prove a point, the Algox just inside the burning gate catches a fleeing outposter and hurls them back as if they'd weighed nothing. 10 days you've been hiking. 10 days, and this is what you find? You breathe out a thick plume of foggy air and hoist your weapon high. It's time to get to work. All right, so for this first turn, the biggest thing is that our characters are going to be kind of setting the stage. The goal for this is to rescue at least one of the guards that is out in this scenario, trying to defend this town of Frosthaven from this invading force. So with that, our players are going to be trying to at least save one of them in order to be successful in this scenario. So there's a little bit of a push your luck element and a pressure cooker time element where you're really going to have to kind of take some risks to get in there and stop, at least save one of those guards from getting slaughtered. And as you're going to see, these guys are going to hit really hard, so these guards are going to go down pretty quick. So hopefully I'll be able to save at least one of them. All right, so for those of you that know how Gloomhaven works, you know what's coming. For those of you that don't, each one of the players during their turn is going to select 2 cards from their deck. And each one of these cards is going to have a top and a bottom, as you guys can see here in this image. So with this, each player is going to choose a top effect that they want to play, and then on another card, they're going to play a bottom effect. Once they have their 2 cards selected, they're going to place one of those cards on top, as each card is also going to have an initiative, and that is going to be the order in which the players play, starting with the lowest all the way up to the highest, and that is going to go between the players. The enemies are each going to have their own deck of cards that are going to be revealed with one of those, and then the guards are also going to have a static 51 on their initiative. So they're going to go somewhere in the middle most of the time. So with that being said, like I said, I will make that selection with each of the characters, and then we'll be back so that we can jump right in the action and see how our characters are going to fare. Okay, so I've made my selections. The Blinkblade has selected to go slow, and with him, he has 2 different speeds, fast and slow, and his cards are going to have different abilities and initiatives based on that. So he went slow, so he's going to get to gain a token, and in order to go fast, he has to spend a token. So that's why I decided to go slow this turn to kind of build him up a little bit. Then the players have played their cards. So the Gemini has an initiative of 22, the Banner Spear at 15, and the Blinkblade at 71. Now let's see how the guards or the enemies are doing. So the guards are first at 50. Then the archers have a 32, and the shaman is at 8. So he's a little quick. He will be the first one to go. Now the shaman does have a ranged attack, and he is an elite, so he is going to do 3 damage, and he's going to target the guard as that is the closest enemy to him. And so he'll reveal a modifier card, and it's a -1. So got lucky there. He does 2 damage then to the guard. The guard has 1 shield, but he does have Pierce 2, so he's going to bypass that and do 2 damage. He also has the Immobilize effect, so the guard is not going to be able to move this round either. Then the next one to go is going to be the Banner Spear at 15. So she is going to do a movement of 4. And let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, moving down here. And then she's also going to play a attack 2, so she's going to try to hit that archer, and then all attacks against her this round are going to gain disadvantage, so I'm going to place that up there. And then attacking that archer, which is number 4, is a 0 bonus, so it's just going to do 2 damage to him. And he doesn't have any armor, so he will take 2 points of damage, and he has 6 hit points. Then the next one to go is the Geminite, and she played a 22, so she's going to do a basic move of 2, as each card can be used as a basic either attack 2 or movement 2. So she's going to do that and move over here, and then she's going to do a pair of attacks at strength 2. So the first one, she'll flip over modifier and it does 0 bonus, so it's just going to be 2 damage to that guard there, and he has no armor, so it's going to do straight. And then the second attack at 2 is +1, so she actually does 3 damage on that one, so that's even better. That guard has 7 hit points, but we've done 5 so far. Moving over to the next one to go then, that is going to be the archers. So I have one archer here that is, it's going to be a +1 attack, but it is going to, so she is going, or this archer is going to move away first, and then he will target the shadow or the banner spear, and it is going to be at disadvantage. So they're going to reveal 2 cards per attack and take the worst out of those 2 cards. And it is +1, so the archers do 3 damage. These guys really do hit. They're firing bolts or spearheads or whatever, so they are not firing arrows. All right, so the first card was a +1. Let's hope that the second is worse. It's a 0. Okay, so she is going to do 4 points of damage to the banner spear. She is going to use her hide armor for 1, so it brings it down to 3. So she'll take 3, and that brings her down to 7 health. Then the next one is going to go again at disadvantage. So it is a +0 and a +1. So again, 4 more points of damage, and that'll finish off the hide armor and 3 more points of damage on her. So she's down to 3 or 4 hit points. Then it is on to the guard next. So we have 2 of them. The first one is going to go after the Geminite. And so it has a +0 attack, and the guards are going to do 3 points of damage, -2. So we got lucky there. So just 1 point of damage on the Geminite. The guard here is going to attack the other guard, and again, he does 3 points of damage. So unless there's a negative here, well, it's a +2. So our guard is down and has been eliminated. So no luck there, that guard went down. All right. So that finishes off the enemies for the round. So the only one left is the Blink Blade. So let's resolve his cards. I played this one as a move 2 card. So he's going to move 1, 2, and then he has an attack that is going to do 2. And let's see what he pulls. A +1, so it is going to do 3 points of damage, finishing off this guy. And then we have to drop a coin, and that will take care of him. So we'll clear his board, place him back out, and then he gets to move 1 more space, so he will finish off on that space. Of course, as he's an assassin, he wants all that money. So that ends the round, so he gets to pick up that token, and we get to pull the first card from the new loot deck, and it is 2 coins. So he's going to receive a number of coins based on the scenario, just like in Gloomhaven. So he'll just add that over to his area, and we'll take care of that at the end of the scenario. Okay, so then we're ready to move into the next round. We move up the round tracker, and everything else is ready to go. So I will go ahead and make my selection again of cards, and we'll be back in a second. All right, so my characters made their selections. Let's reveal the enemy cards to see where the enemy stands. The guards, again, are 50. The archers at 31, and the shaman is at 89, so he's going to go last this time. My Blink Blade went with fast, so he is going to spend one of his tokens, and he is actually the fastest right now, so he's going to go first. He played, for his move, he's going to move 3 spaces plus an additional 2 because he's fast. So he's going to move 1, 2, 3 here. And then he also played an attack 4 Because he's fast, it targets 2 opponents, and it also is going to poison himself, and he gains an experience from it. So we'll move his experience up 1, and then we will give him poison. All right, so from there, then he's going to go ahead and do his attacks. He is going to spend the Eagle Eye Goggles. So this is going to turn it. And with this one, it says during your attack, you gain advantage on the entire attack action. So this is going to apply to both the targets. He really needs to do a good amount of damage here. The attack does 4 damage, so hopefully at least he's going to do that. So let's start out with number 4, as it has 2 points of damage on it. If he can just get 4 damage on him, he will eliminate that archer. So let's find out what he has. -1 and a 0. So he did the 4 damage that he needed, so that archer has been eliminated. That'll help. And then on the second archer, again, he has advantage, so it's a -1 or a ×2. So let's do that and finish off that archer as well, as that is 8 damage. That archer cannot take that. And so the Blink Blade was super successful, and this will get reshuffled as the reshuffle symbol is on the bottom of the ×2. That was really successful for the Blink Blade, and so first off, we have to drop 2 tokens as well, loot tokens on those spaces for the enemies that were killed. And then next is going to be the spear, banner spear, and she played a 21. So with her, she's just going to do some basic stuff. She's going to spend the first card to do a move 2, so 1, 2, and then the second card, she is going to do a basic attack. So it is a 2 plus -2, so unsuccessful with everything. Then it is going to be, the archers would have been next at this point, but they are both eliminated, yes, because of the Blink Blade. So on to the Geminite at 37. So with that one, she went ahead and did a jump 4, and this is going to disarm 2 targets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and that'll disarm both of those enemies. So that is guard number 3, and then the shaman, who is number 1. So at least they're not going to attack this turn. Then this card is going to be discarded. It also gets the Geminite 1 experience, or it's going to be lost. Then he's going to do an attack, which is a swing attack, and it's does 2, it's a strength 2, and it immobilizes both targets as well, so they'll both have immobilize on them. For the first target, he's going to go after the guard and reveals a +1, so that's 3 points on the guard. That was a good attack. And on the shaman, the shaman has a shield of 1, so let's see what we have. It's a 0, so just 1 point of damage on the shaman. But again, both of them can attack, so that was the main use. And now this card has a flip, so it's going to have him reverse to the other deck. Next, the guard is going to go, so again, the guard will not attack this turn. It's simply going to remove that disarm ability and not attack. And then the shaman will go. The shaman has a -1 move, a heal 1, and it affects all adjacent allies, which there aren't any adjacent allies to it, and it gains bless. So it's going to drop a ×2 into the monster deck. All right, and then at the end of its turn, it also removes that and the immobilize. Okay, that was a very successful round 2. I definitely liked that quite a bit. So at this point then we're going to advance and set up for round 3. So I'll be back after I make card selections. And again, the Geminite is going to switch out. So we'll go ahead and flip this deck over and reveal the new deck. And then our characters will make their selections. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and jump ahead a couple rounds, and I'll be back once we clear out this first area and set up for the second area. So our heroes were able to make it through the beginning part of that scenario. It got to a tar pit in this area. We had the enemies here, and you had that boulder there that was pretty much bottlenecking our heroes. So it took me a number of rounds to chew through those two enemies, but I was able to pull it off. And our heroes are ready to enter into the second part of this scenario. And they're doing pretty well. I just had to rest with all the heroes. I took a long rest with each one of them to get all their cards back. And so they're ready to move into this fresh, and we'll see if they can protect the guards and win this scenario. So I'm going to go ahead and give you the little bit of information about this second part. So you run in the gates, and the breath of destruction becomes quickly apparent. The town has been sacked, smoke and carnage, and the heat burns your eyes. The buildings have been opened, their simple wooden walls rammed through, and their contents dragged out and smashed. Barrels, dishes, chests, and everything have been hurled and dashed to bits. What structures still stand are bright with fire, and those that don't smolder, their frames like black torch skeletons. And all about are these creatures, these sources of havoc, howling in chaos, a new enemy, the Algox. So I went ahead and already made my selections of cards, and so we're ready to jump into this and see what happens. So I'm going to go ahead and reveal the enemy cards, and the guards are at 15 with a shield. Oh no! The archers are at 29, and the shamans are at 23. And all three of them are going to be reset. So all three enemies are going to be going pretty quick here, but a couple of my characters did go first. So the Bright Blade or Blink Blade went ahead and spent one of his to go fast, because he needs to get in there and hopefully do some damage here. So he is going to do a move of 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then with this card, it says that all adjacent allies and enemies suffer 1 damage. So both of those guys are going to suffer a damage. So I have number 2 for the archers and number 1 for the guards. Then I could choose to spend another counter if I wanted to push them up to 3 spaces. I don't want to get them any closer to the guards, so I'm not going to do that. And then the second card is going to be my Power Leak, which was really successful the first time, so I'm hoping for some similar success here. It does cause me to take poison, so I will take that. And then I am going to spend my goggles again to get that advantage. So this is a attack that targets both enemies, and it is going to do 4. I also gain an experience for that. And I have advantage now thanks to my goggles. So which enemy do I go with first? I'm going to go ahead and target the guard. So let's reveal. It's a +1. It's an advantage, -1. So it is going to be the +1, so it's going to do 5 damage. He does have 1 shield from that, so it will do 4 damage instead. And that is going to be on number 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And so he's up to 5 already, not too bad. And the archer, hopefully we can bring him down. Let's find out. So it's a +0 and a -1. So it's just going to be 4 damage, not enough for that. So he was close. He had 1 hit point left, but we'll see what happens here. So the Blink Blade is over and he is done. So moving on, the next enemy to go is going to be the guards at 15. So each of the guards is going to have a +0 attack. And so this guard here is a attack of 4 on the Blink Blade. This is going to hurt, and it is a +0. So it just does the 4 damage +1 for poison, which is going to drop the Blink Blade down to 3 hit points. All right, so that was rough. Then the other guard, we have one here, and he does not get any bonuses to move, so his movement is 3. So 1, 2, so he's going to move up here against that guard and attack. It's a +1 for 4 damage. The guard does have 1 shield, so he is going to only take 3 damage, but that's still pretty bad for that. Then the guard up here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 away from him. 1, 2, 3 here, so he's going to come back here and hit my guy there. And it's a +1 as well. My guy does have, well, that's not gonna, oh yeah, it will. So he does have 1 shield, so it will stop the 1 from that. And so it's going to be 3 damage. So that'll drop him down to 5. And it does retaliate 1, so that is guard number 2. So there's 1 point on there. And that is the 3 guards, so those are done. Next, we have the Banner Spear. She is going to do a move 4, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then she's going to do an attack, and all enemies against her this round are going to gain disadvantage. Unfortunately, the guards were able to go first. I was kind of hoping that I could squeeze in there and get through that, but no luck there. So with that, she's going to do an attack of 2 against that guard there, and it's a -1. So it's just going to do 1 damage, which the guard is going to avoid. Then it is going to go to the Blink, or the Geminite is a 32, so it's going to be the Shaman next. So he has a 0 move, heal 3. So he is 3 away from the elite there. Unfortunately, those Shaman are great at healing. And so that is his turn. And then finally, it is the archers, I think. Yeah, 29. So we have the 2 archers. So the first one is going to move. And then he will take a shot onto the Blink Blade at -1. And -2, so that's going to be only 1 point of damage on the Blink Blade. But he does have the poison, so it's going to be 2, so he's down to 1 hit point. Ugh. And then the other archer we have here, he's going to go against the Banner Spear. So the Banner Spear has that disadvantage, so 2 cards, so a +0 and a +1, so just the +0 for a -1, which is going to do 3 damage to her, and she's going to spend 1 there, so she'll take 2. Finally, the one up top here is going to 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Banner Spear was first, so she will take the hit. Again, the disadvantage is a ×2 and a 0, so it's going to be the 0 for 3 more damage. She'll spend that last one there to do that and take 2 more, so she's down to 5. Then we're moving over to Geminites. Unfortunately, I was kind of hoping that they would get to go first, but everybody played fast cards on the enemy's side, so this didn't work quite as well as I was hoping it was going to. But anyways, let's see. We have the Geminite, and he's got a ton of ranged attacks here that he's going to let loose and hopefully do some damage. So he has an attack of 3 at range 4 to 5. So he's going to go ahead and start out by taking a shot on this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he has range to him. And it is going to be a -1. So it does 2 damage, and that will be enough to eliminate that guy. So this guy's gone. And that'll take care of that attack. And then the second one here, I can choose to target up to 2 enemies if I wanted to but I'd have to take a curse. And I can also add +2 to that attack, but then that's going to muddle me as well. Ooh. Oh, and I have disadvantage, so I gotta reveal another card, and it was a +1, so it didn't matter because I'm adjacent to that guy, so that's another condition. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and take target 2 enemies. I'll take the curse and muddle, as I'm already adjacent to a guy, so I'm already taking the penalty from that anyways. This gets mixed in with my cards, and this will be beneficial to me. So I'm doing 5 to start, but we'll see what happens. So I'm going to go ahead and target the archer up there because these archers are really nasty, so I want to try to get them out of here as quickly as possible. So against the first archer, again, I have the muddle, so it's going to be 2. So that's a 0 and a +2, so would have been nice, but the 0 comes into play, so I'm going to do 5 damage to that archer. And that is archer number 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so that takes care of that. And the second attack, I will target... I'm going to target this archer over here, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have range as well. So it is a -1 and a +1. So it's going to be the -1 for 4 damage on that one. And that's number 1. So that'll go there. And that takes care of that. I am going to... I don't know if I want to pop... Yeah, I'm going to pop a health for now and heal myself back up to 8. Might as well keep my guys healthy. And that is it for my characters. The last to go are the guards at 51. So each of the guards has a no bonus to the movement. So their base movement is 2. So this guy's going to come out and around as he can't come through here. This guy's going to come up as well. And this guy's going to attack that guard up there. So that is guard number 1. And I get to choose a deck for the guards to pull from. So I'm going to go with this one here. It's a 0, so it just does 1 point of damage as that guard still has the shield in place. Then all of these are going to get shuffled up, so I'll take care of that in between here. And I'll be back for the next round. Okay, so I reset up and I chose my cards. So starting with the guards, they have a 70, but they're going to be hitting a little harder this time. The archers are at 32, and they are hitting a little harder as well. That's not good. And the shamans are fast again at 8, so they're going to go first. So he is 1, 2, 3, 4 away from me, and 1, 2, 3, 4 away from the guard, so it's tied. So then we go off of the initiative. My Blink Blade went with fast, so he is going to go first, he's going to go after him. The shaman has a range of 3, so it is going to target him. And so it's going to have to move 1 closer, so it'll move up here, and then go ahead and take a shot. So it does 2 damage. And no bonus, and this will get shuffled up as well, so it's just going to do 2 damage. The Blink Blade only has 1 hit point left, so I'm going to have to discard a card in order to not take that hit. So let's see here. I will go ahead and drop this one here, so I don't take any damage from that. All right, then it is going to move into my player's turns. So 18 is going to be the fastest with the Geminite going. And so he is going to move 1. And let me see, he is going to... I'm going to do my attack first. So it's an attack, it has range of 3. So I'm going to target that archer up there. And it is going to be at muddle because I have the muddle effect, and I'm also at disadvantage as well, so that'll go away. But so it's a -2 and a +1, so it is going to be -2 to that. 4 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so it still is just enough, and that archer has been eliminated as well. So that worked out, and then I'm going to get to move 1 space, so I will move here. I'm also going to spend a potion, the minor stamina potion. This lets me regain 2 cards from my discard pile, so I'm going to go ahead and pull those 2 cards that I used last turn back into this, even though I'm going to be switching over to the other fighting style. That way I won't have to rest as quickly, and those were really powerful attacks that I could use coming up here. So then the muddle is going to go away, and then it is on to the, let's see, we have 32, 24 is going to be next. And that attack did immobilize my little Blink Blade, unfortunately, which he was going to be moving around here, but it is not going to happen. So he's going to do a bunch of attacks, though, so hopefully this will help him. So his first one here, he is going to do an attack at 2, and -2 to that, so nothing there. So that was very unsuccessful. And then the next one is a 2 + 0, so it's going to do 2 damage to number 3. So that is going to put him up to 5. And the third and final attack is at +2, so that's 4 damage. So at least that worked out. That helped him considerably. So that puts the enemy up to 9 points in damage. So he's got 3 left. And I had a bunch of movement here, but he's immobilized, so that's not going to be the case. So that finishes off his turn. So then we're at tied for the archers. So the banner spear is going to go next. She is going to move her guy first. So he'll move up there. And she is going to go ahead and do an attack on the guard there. Well, first let's go ahead and do the summon banner. So this is the summon banner of strength. She's going to place it over here. And that will boost the strength of all of the allies. It is got 4 health, so hopefully it'll stick around. We'll see what that archer has to say about it, because I'm not going to be able to handle him. So it might go down right away, but it'll stop one of my players from taking damage. And then I'm going to do an attack. I do need an ally with me, so I do have that. And it's going to be against this guy here at strength 4. And it's going to also cause wounds. I also get 2 experience for that, and I'll get 1 for this. All right, and let's see what it does. It's a +0, but it also does wound, so I'll drop wound on there, and that is number 2. 2 has not taken any damage yet, so this is the first 4 points of damage on him. So that's good. At least we got some damage in there. And that is it for my players. So then the archers are going to go. It's just the one archer who has the closest enemy now is that target there. Archer's at +1. He's going to do a whopping 5 points of damage, and it's a 0 bonus, so that went down right away. But it's better that went than my player did. Well, actually, that went off first, so that is going to add +1. So I would actually do an additional point of damage to that enemy at least. So it did help a little bit. That finished off the archer. So the archers are done. And then it's the guards. So let's see if the guards will be able to do a little bit here before they go down. So there's 1, 2 for them. This guy's going to attack, and I'll choose one of my decks. I'm going to go after the banner spear, and it's a ×2. Awesome. So I do 4 points of damage onto number 1, who already had 4 points of damage on him. Oh, that's the wrong guy. It's the archers. So number 1 had 1 point of damage on him, so that will put him up to 5 at least. So he's almost gone. The poor guard is probably going to go down here anyways, but he was able to do a little bit of damage at least before he did. So this gets shuffled up. And then finally we have the guards to finish off the round. So we have the guard there against the Blink Blade, who is going to get hit pretty hard here. And I'm probably going to have to spend another card to stop that from happening. But it's all right. We're chewing through the enemies at least, so that's a plus. All right, so the guard here is going to go next, and he does +1 to his base damage of 4, so he's going to do 5 damage. So I'm going to choose a card, and these are going to be discarded to the discard pile. I'm still got a guy on that base, so I can't move that board off just yet. And then this guard up here is going to attack that guy. And so it's going to do a +1 as well. So yes, that will finish off that guard, as he already had 3 damage on him. Now the immobilize will go away on our Blink Blade. All right, so that was number 1. Then we have number 2 over here. He has the wound, so he is going to take a wound right away. So that puts him up to 6 points. So he's got 1 left and he's gone, but he does get to attack. And out of the 2, the Gemini was the one that played the higher initiative, so he's going to go after him. So it does +0, and he does 3 damage to the Gemini, so it's going to take 2 damage, as it has this effect in play, and it's going to do 1 damage to him, which finishes him off. So that's great. Oh, I forgot to put tokens down for these guys that have been eliminated, so let me do that real quick. Totally missed that. All right, I think that was everybody. Okay. All right, so that was everybody. So I'm going to go ahead and set up for the next round. We'll be back. Okay, so let's reveal and see where we're at. So our guard's at 50. Archer is at 16. And the shaman is at 62. All right, so out of the players, it looks like the archer is going to be the first to go. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it's even. My guy played the fastest card between the two, so the archer is going to go after him at 4 points of damage plus -1, so it's going to do 3, and then it's also -1 there, so 2 damage on him, so that's not horrible. He's down to 3 hit points. Then that is it for the archers, so on to him. He's the next, or she's the next to go, I'm sorry. So she is going to go ahead and do a range 2 heal on the bright blade down there, and it's also going to give him regeneration. So with that, that'll bump him up to 3 hit points at least. And he is also going slow this round, and I'm going to give him a wound token because I don't have any regenerate tokens yet. They don't exist yet. So then I also have a shield 1, so that's going to give me an additional shield. And it also gives me 2 experience points. So she's up to 7 at least on that. And that is end of her turn. So then we have 68. So pretty much all the enemies are going to go first before my guys. Well, my blink blade is at 50. So he'll get to go at least. He'll actually be next to go, and then the guards, and then my guards. So he is going to move. Or no, he does. No, I don't want to move yet. So I'm going to do, I got the heal self 2 plus an additional heal 2 for being slow. So that'll give me 4 more hit points. So that puts me up to 7. And then I also get that 1 from regeneration, or regenerate. And then I'm going to do an attack. It's at -1 because I'm slow. So it's just a 2 attack. And it's a +1 though. So that's 3 points of damage onto the guard, who has 9 hit points, so that will finish him off. So that really helped out. That was going to be a nasty attack. So the guard is done, and then it is on to the other guard. So he's going to move, and he has no bonus to his movement, so he's going to move 3, 1, 2, 3, and attack the guard there at +1, so he does 3 damage +1 for 4, but the guard does have 1 shield, so 3 damage on that guard. And that is number 2. Let me lay these guys down so you can see them. And then they're going to go, so we have guard 2 on number 1 there, and I'll take it from, let's go after with the banner spear. So it's a +1, so that's 3 damage onto number 1, which will finish him off as well, because he only had 2 hit points left. So that is it for him. So the enemies are dropping like flies at this point, and I keep forgetting to put the tokens out. And then enemy number 2 is going to, or guard number 2 is going to move up. And so we have 1, 2, he'll go right there in the middle. And he is going to go after the enemy had the higher initiative, which is going to be the archer. So we had pretty much good luck with that. So it's 0, just 2 damage onto the archer. That is archer number 1, who's already got some damage on him. So this is going to put him up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's got 3 hit points left. I don't want to say anything yet, but it's looking good so far. Then the shaman is going to go. He is going to target that guard as he is the closest to him right now. The shaman is going to do 2 points of damage, -1, so just 1 point of damage. And the guard has that defense, so he's going to block it. Whew. Got lucky there. All right, then it is over to the Geminite to finish off the round. She is going to move 3, so 1. Let's go right through 1, 2, and 3 to move up, and then she's going to do 2 attacks at 2. So let's see what happens. It's a +0, so just 2 damage on the archer. So that puts the archer up to 8. Just one more as long as she doesn't draw a -2. It's a 0 and a reshuffle, but that's enough to finish off the archer. My last coin. We'll drop that there. Unfortunately, my guys have been so focused on the enemies, they haven't had a chance to really pick up all these coins that are laying around. But that's all right. And it is going to change him out to his other form, so I'll flip those over real quick, so that we know that he is going to be moving on to that. The wound on that guy, number 2, he is gone. We eliminated him. Shaman hasn't taken any damage yet. Oof, that's not good. All right, this is it. The tension's on. Let's see if we can pull it off here. So the Shaman is going to be, let's pull him and see what he got. He has a 23. It's a heal at range 3. And I think he's going to be the first to go, but he has not taken any damage yet, so it works out. So he is not going to get lucky with that at all. And so it is on to our players. The Banner Spear had to rest. She has not had she doesn't have any cards left. The Blink Blade went with his fast, so he's going to spend his 1 token that he had and do his attacks, but it'll be the Geminite first at 32. So she chose to do those ranged attacks again, so she's got the one that is at 3 damage. Oh, I forgot to shuffle this up too. Let me do that real quick. And then she's going to have another one as well. So yeah, that first attack at 3 plus 1. So that's 4. The guy has 1 shield, so he's going to take 3 damage. So he's half dead. And the second attack, I will take the muddle effect to add +2 to that, so that's 5. And it's -1, -0, so it's going to be -1. He does have that 1 shield, but that's still 4 points of damage minus the shield, which is 3, and that finishes him off. So that is it. We pulled it off just barely. I had a couple of guys that had taken some serious damage. I was able to fight it back, and the one guard was only had 2 hit points left. But that is Frosthaven. That is the scenario. I was able to pull it off and win. It was nail biting there for a little bit. I do want to mention that none of this stuff was set up. I did not set the enemy cards in any certain way or anything like that to stage anything. This was all as you saw it. I revealed them honestly and fairly. And same with the modifying decks. I did not change anything. I wanted it to be as real as possible to show you guys the game as truthful as possible. So thank you as always for watching. I hope that you guys found this helpful in deciding whether or not you want to back this game. I think most people are just going to back it already because they already have Gloomhaven and know how awesome it is. So this is hopefully something that you enjoyed, and let me know in the comments below. I am looking at doing some of the other scenarios that are included. So let me know if there's things that you would like to see or a different way to do it or whatnot. Let me know in those comments below what you guys thought, who your favorite character was in this session, or who you thought the MVP was, who pulled out the stops and really held the team together. Let me know in those comments below. Let's start some conversations, and let me know how excited you are about Frosthaven as well. I'm really enjoying this so far. I'm upset that I hadn't had a chance to try Gloomhaven before, and now that I have, I think I'm hooked. As much as I wish I had time to play it all, I don't think I will, but I'm going to try to get a scenario here and there as well, and I'll drop links and pictures in my Twitter account, and love to hear from you guys there as well. Hit me up there. Let me know what you guys are doing and playing, what else you're excited about, and what you'd like me to cover. I'm always up to hearing from you guys. But always, please consider hitting that like button, subscribing to my channel. It really does make a big difference. It's the only way I can grow and be able to get more games like this to show you guys how to play games, what the Kickstarters look like, and that it is the easiest and best way that you can help me out in my channel is just hitting that button. So please take that second. I know everybody asks for it, and it is for good reason. It's the only way that we can continue growing and being able to produce this stuff. So if you found this helpful in any way, please just hit that button for me, and I'll be able to continue making these good videos, hopefully for you, that you like and enjoy, and being able to teach you all about these games. So until next time, I will see you guys later.